Hello and welcome to another edition of the Peninsula Biz Buzz. My name is Shelley Smith and I'm here with co-host
Bob McKenna from the Virginia Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. And just a real quick update on our weekly or daily newsletter update. Today's daily newsletter is, I held it until the last minute because there was good stuff coming into the last minute. And it's chock full of good information for business owners, employers, employees, general community partners out there, including a call for action to the private sector from the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, some notes from the IRS and the Social Security Administration with links, and some calls for assistance from some of our good neighbors out there at the Peninsula Food Bank and the American Red Cross, and they need some blood. So if you can donate blood, take a look at that, and you can sign up at the link to go and donate. So today's Peninsula Biz Buzz, we're talking to Doug Smith, and we talked to him actually once before at an earlier version of the Biz Buzz. And Doug is the president and CEO of HREDA, which is the Hampton Roads Economic Development Alliance. Doug's been in the job for less than a year now, and he came in and made immediate impact. I was very excited about our relationship with him and the fact that he was taking the lead on economic development in the Hampton Roads region. He's now faced with an unprecedented challenge. He came in and developed a strategic plan to expand business in the Hampton Roads area, or in the 757. And now he and his staff have had to pivot to recovering business. So he's going to take a very critical role in the recovering from COVID-19. Doug, I don't want your job, but I'm very happy that somebody like you is in that job, because I think we're going to be all right. It's going to take some time, but you're a great leader and you're doing great things. So over to you, and you can give us some information on what you're doing at the Alliance.
Okay. Well, good morning, Bob, and Shelley, and thank you for the time. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the organization and what we're up to, and then pivot to some conversation about regional collaboration and what we're doing among several of our organizations. But Bob, you said it really well. We're fortunate in that the Alliance really changed its mission about a year ago, and really over the last 6 months, and an organization that has been very focused on attracting investment from outside the region. We shifted and started to put a focus, as you said, on business retention and business expansion that we hadn't had before, and doing that in a way that is collaborative with, in our case, the 11 localities that are members. And so we work very closely with the economic development directors. Well, obviously, things changed dramatically over the last 10 days. And our team was fortunate. We had a few days in the office before everybody needed to go home, where we were able to do a pretty significant change to our strategic plan, and really started to shift our resources, not even to expansion, but to business retention. Just as you said, this is going to become all about recovery. I mean, right now, we're in a business sustainment phase. We've got businesses, small businesses here, that are fighting to stay vital and to stay open. And you and I and Brian Stevens on the South Side have talked a lot about the chambers playing a very active role in this sustainment period. But as we come out of this, it will be about that R in BRE, which has been business retention. We're really turning it into business resilience. So we've done a few things. We've stood up a virtual task force that you're on, that's got bankers and economic development officials and business owners, and really talking about what do we know, and what are the tools that are out there that we can use to help folks. I would also tell you that as a region, we're talking a lot. We've tried to create a bit of a battle rhythm in terms of the regional organizations collaborating. And what that's looked like is the city managers are talking every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 o'clock about the challenges they have relative to local government. Our organizations, yours, the two chambers, Reinvent Hampton Roads, the Hampton Roads Workforce Council, our organization, the Alliance, are on the phone every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoon, and talking through, comparing notes about what we know and what we've learned and what we can do. We're each having our own conference calls. I'm on the phone pretty constantly, excuse me, with the folks from the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, Stephen Murray and his team, learning about what they see as the economic impact on the Commonwealth. And we're talking a lot about what that looks like. We're staying in touch with our federal government. We've got obviously really what's going to drive our recovery is, frank, candidly, the size of the stimulus package and the time of this social distancing. And we're going to have a briefing with Senator Warner for some business leaders in the region tomorrow to get a real clear look of what he sees as hopefully at that point a passed package and what's in that package. And we'll stay pretty close to our federal delegation. It's really going to be, it's feeling like we're going to have the resources that come into the individuals, which is really important, but also to small business and larger business. But it's going to be incumbent upon us, upon you and me and others, to make sure that our region, our businesses understand what this package has in it, understand how to access these dollars so that we can get back up moving as quickly and efficiently as we can. So I think those are really the highlights of what's going on. I think the message I'd like you to hear, if you're a business owner or someone just interested in the region, is the idea, and you've heard me say this before, the idea that the folks in this region don't collaborate is a false idea. It's a false narrative. And thank goodness we've corrected that. And you've been a big part of that, Bob. But we've been able to build on those relationships that we've developed these last several years to be able to react to this new world and the new world of how we're doing business and how we help our community remain on its feet and continue to be a vibrant and healthy region. So I'll stop there, Bob, and tell you that I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak. And if anybody needs anything from us, Doug Smith at hreva.com is the best way to get hold of me.
Outstanding. Shelley, over to you. Do you have anything? Shelley? Are you on mute?
Sorry, muted myself. I appreciate Doug, you coming on this morning and giving some really great updates. We probably will have you back on after both you and Bob have updates from Governor Warner and see if there's any additional information that can be shared. So we appreciate it. And Bob, I know we'll have some other folks on here in the coming days. And I think that's it, unless anybody has any closing comments.
Yeah, I'd just like to say one thing. Doug, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and I said, the United States is the population of the United States, we are people of action, and we always want to do something. And what most of our population is being asked to do right now is do nothing, stay at home, shelter in place, social distancing. But I didn't take into consideration the fact that there's a lot of people out there like you who actually are kind of running toward the fire and taking action and making sure that we don't just survive, but we come out at the end of this tunnel ready to thrive. So thanks for all you're doing, and thanks to all your team for what they're doing. So we'll talk to you again maybe next week.
Sounds great. Everybody take care. Wash your hands.
Yeah, thanks. Take care.